force or tyranny. Folks, welcome to Town Hall. 6 years today. 6 years we've been here standing up for human rights, for whistleblowers, for your right to have an opinion without being put in prison for being a hate speech purveyor or a spreader of misinformation. Yeah, they're putting thousands of people in prison in England now for basic human rights, standing for human rights and some kind of accountability. My friend Tony, he was here 6 years ago. He's still here today. He's a very intelligent man, so please have a listen to what he's got to say.
Thanks, Billy. Yep, 6 years ago today we started here. We've established this place as a place to stand for whistleblowers. It's a free speech zone. It's a zone that stands for those that stand up against corruption. And believe me, there's a bit of it around these days. And there's 6 in particular we'd like to draw your attention to here. Their banners are down under the David McBride sign. We've got some literature if you'd like to read about them. Anyway, welcome to 6 years at Sydney Town Hall. Welcome to the 314th Julian Assange Sydney Town Hall gathering. Free speech is our ticket to a better way of life, while conforming with the speech of those who profit from the control of people is our pathway to slavery. It is therefore important that we clearly understand the significance of engaging in free speech. We need to understand that our media are paid to deliver narratives designed to keep us under the control of those who profit from that control. Left versus right narratives prevent true democracy through artificially polarising us by enticing us to listen to these narratives. We become polarised when we allow ourselves to become caught up in simplistic, binary dialogues that divert us from free speech and free thought. When we take in divide and conquer, left versus right politics, we effectively destroy any notion of true democracy and everyone having a thoughtful say. Free speech is more than simply having the right to criticise the other side. Free speech enables us to be free to think beyond the narrow scope of left versus right media narratives. Free speech allows us to learn and discover how we may be controlled if we fall into the trap of adopting the controlled speech delivered to us through our media. With the expanded range of views that become available through freedom of speech, we all gain greater opportunity to understand how our world truly works. Speaking freely allows us to hold governments and corporations to account when what they do isn't what we want, or when what they don't do is what we need them to do. Join us here on Town Hall steps and help encourage more people to engage in truly free speech, rather than in the controlled speech that we can all hear through our media. The Assange movement continues. Free, free, free the truth. Free, free, free the truth. Free, free, free the truth. Thank you.
Free the truth.
Throw it away anyway, so they'd be dumping.
Can I give you a leaflet?
Anyway.
Yeah, we want you to Dan Duggan, David Dan Duggan, they're very important. Okay. Yeah, I've been attacked by...
Oh, God bless Supertramp. What a band. The best. Here we go. When I was young, seemed that life was so wonderful. America, well, it was beautiful, magical. And all the birds, trees, would be singing so happily. Oh, joyfully, playfully, watching me. And then they sent me away to teach me how to be sensible, logical, practical, reliable. And if they show me the wrong, or I could be so damn dependable. Oh, chemical, intellectual, cynical. Take it for a time when everyone's asleep. The questions ran too deep for such a simple man. Won't you please tell me what would work? I know it sounds absurd, but please tell me who I am. Who I am. I said, watch what you say, or I'll be calling you a radical, a liberal, fanatical, a criminal. When you sign up your name, like to feel accepted, respected, essential, negotiable. I'll take it. Questions run too deep. Why such a simple man? Won't you please tell me what we want? I know it sounds absurd, but please tell me who I am. Who I am. Who I I'm feeling so logical. Oh yeah. Digital. It's getting unbelievable. Digital. It's unbelievable. true. As I heard the Chief Justice in Britain this week has come out and said we need to scrap jury trials. It's an age-old right that we, people in the British system, goes back to really Magna Carta, isn't it? Bill of Rights.
Alfred the Great.
Alfred the Great.
9th century.
And what they hate about jury trials is if the jury comes out and tosses the matter out that this person shouldn't be penalised for that, then that becomes law, and then that becomes a precedent for law. So it's about ramping up control of everyone, control of judgments, and also laws which have mandatory sentencing. So judges might, technically you might break the law, but the judge might have some discretion in whether you're able to be put on home detention or sanctioned or given a lesser sentence because you didn't really do anything wrong. They're trying to wipe that out so politicians can make laws which can be entirely unreasonable, and the people have no access to genuine justice, no jury trials, and the judge has no discretion to issue, what do they call it, bond, small sentences or bonds or whatever. It's about control of everything coming from the very top by people who are, in my opinion, are very untrustworthy. They've lied us into a lot of very bad things. Safe and effective. Anyone still believe it's safe and effective? I think the only thing that's safe and effective, in my personal opinion, is not to take the vaccination. But I mean, you can have as many as you like. I don't mind. But I listen to experts. I don't listen to experts paid by Pfizer, Moderna, or the government. I listen to independent experts that risk their entire career to come out and say they think that what we're being informed is not good. So do lots of research, listen to as many experts as you can, I think. And above all, fight for a better Australia. That's what we're here for. Free speech, medical freedom, freedom to work, freedom to travel, movement freedom, freedom of association, all these things that we have entered into a covenant to support the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We have to honour it, and it's up to the people to force the government to honour their covenant to stand for our human rights. Because the only thing that people have to protect themselves from dictatorships and tyranny are our human rights. They can make laws that can say it's hate speech just to criticise the government. Well, how can you make the country better if you can't criticise things? They can just spin that into hate speech. You know what hate speech is? It's speech the government hates. It's very important. Very important, people. I just say to people, you know they're lying very often. You know they're lying just by watching what they're doing.
No, watching their lips move.
Does anybody think we're backing the war in Ukraine and effectively supporting Israel or not sanctioning it to help anybody? It is to help people. It's to help people make money out of it. People have got to, my opinion, people have to become very skeptical and question everything. There's another very important problem we've got in this country, and that is that we've been allegedly supposed to believe this is a democracy, and democracy is the Holy Grail. Well, it should be. If your Member of Parliament was in the town square every Friday and he was prepared to take our questions, that would be democracy. But they're not. They won't meet with us. They won't look at the evidence. They hide themselves from their constituents. You try and make a meeting, try and get an appointment with your MP and tell him you think that the vaccination mandates are a very bad idea. They won't meet with you. So that's my advice. Watch what they do. It's all about narrative control and getting you to believe what they want you to believe with the mainstream media. And when you research it a bit for yourself, you can normally come to the conclusion that you're not being told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's why we're here. We're here for human rights, we're here for the truth, we're here for free speech, medical freedom. Stand up for your rights or you will lose them.
各位朋友，感谢你们在匆忙的步伐中停下片刻。我今天站在这里，不只是为了台湾，也不只是为了某一群人，我是为了所有被压迫、被夺去与选择与自由的人们发声。当我们谈论台湾被侵略或占领的可能性时，这不是抽象的地缘政治讨论，而是关于人性、家庭、信任与未来的真实危机。我要告诉各位一个沉重的真实背景：立身和尚的弟子中，有超过1700名的修行者被中国政府调查，这些人当中，许多是出家人，他们清心寡欲，手无寸铁，只求安静的修行，追求智慧与慈悲。然而，他们被抓捕、被监禁，有些人甚至秘密被处决。当一个以恐惧治理的政权，不仅锁住人民的生命，更企图摧毁思想与信念；当一个政府连这样的平和、慈悲、无害的修行团体都视为威胁，这清楚地告诉我们，中共不会善待一个拥有自由思想的人，而台湾，一个拥有民主制度、自由精神、开放社会的国家，在这样邪恶的政权面前，将首当其冲。人性与未来的警讯：如果连修行人中共都不放过，如果连慈悲与智慧都被中共视为威胁，那么台湾人民若落入中共的统治，其后果将是人性最深的崩解。家庭将失去信任，邻里之间将恐惧而沉默。权力者将更加肆意地压榨无权者，那将不是一场政治危机而已，而是整个社会被推入黑暗。为何中共政权不可能善待台湾？中共政权在他们国内对言论、宗教、少数民族批评者的压制，有大量的国际观察与报告指出其广泛且系统性的行为。若一个政权对内部的不同声音将采取严厉镇压，那么它很难以宽容与尊重去治理一个曾经有过民主洗礼、习惯于自由与法治的社会。台湾人民若落入这样的体制，将面对的是人性被践踏的深刻伤害。亲人之间将不再信任，权力者对无权者的剥削与压榨会变本加厉，社会的光明将被掩盖。台湾的战略与人道的重要性。台湾不只是民主的象征，它也是全球科技供应链，尤其是半导体领域的一个关键枢纽。若台湾 落入一个不尊重自由与人权的政权之下，全球科技供应与经济安全会受到长期且深刻的冲击。这是民主国家与普世价值共同面临的风险，不只是地缘政治的损伤，也是人道与未来世代的损失。人性、家庭与未来最直接的代价。想象一个世界，孩子对父母产生怀疑，邻居不再可以坦诚交谈，朋友的沉默成为自我保全的手段。那不是社会的倒退，而是人性的撕裂。当政权以恐惧维系秩序时，真正受伤的不是政治制度，而是每一个人的灵魂。若台湾人被剥夺选择与自由，那些平常信任与温情将成为最先被摧毁的东西。在雪梨，在悉尼的朋友们，我今天站在市政厅下的目的，不是宣讲悲观或恐惧，我们要让世界记住，民主与良知值得守护。我们要声援被迫害的修行者与受压迫者。我们要让国际社会看清楚，台湾的命运也是世界民主的命脉。请你停下，听听台湾的声音，并把这份声音带回你的社区、你的朋友圈，还有你的选票与你的良知中。朋友们，我们一起为自由发声，为民主发声，为正义发声。Free, free, free the truth. Free, free, free the truth. Free, free, free the truth. Woo!
Woo! Tony's going to tell you a little bit. We've been here for 6 years today, standing up for whistleblowers that have exposed crimes and have been put in prison. You know, it's a bit of a worry when people that expose crimes are actually put in, expose the actions of the criminals are actually put in prison instead of some just judicial process. And Tony's going to say a bit about it.
On the 29th of November, November 2019, we stood here on Town Hall steps for the first time. Ironically, we picked the beginning of COVID to start our gathering, and we've been gathering here every Friday ever since. And what we're doing for 6 years is we've been celebrating free speech on Town Hall steps, raising awareness of wrongdoing by governments, corporations, and the judiciary, who are incarcerating and persecuting whistleblowers who reveal the truth about the corruption in our system. We need to support our whistleblowers. They are our only hope of eradicating corruption. So folks, if you do nothing else, look out for David McBride, Dan Duggan, Richard Boyle, Mary Kostakidis, Dr. Miley Trin, and Dr. John Wilson. These people are working for your freedoms, for an uncorrupted government. They are trying to flush out the corruption that exists within our governance. So folks, I urge you, come and join us. Come and have your free speech on town hall steps. Come and tell us what your truth is. Thank you. Attention. This is a public interest announcement. You have entered a free speech zone where you have the opportunity to learn truth about how the world really works. You are welcome to freely take leaflets packed with information and opinions you are unlikely to discover elsewhere. If you fear learning the truth, or you wish to continue being controlled by the mainstream media propaganda, you are encouraged to block your ears or avoid this area completely. For everyone else, please enjoy your time in this free speech zone. Thank you.
Tomorrow is 29th of November. Anyone who's still celebrating the old Yugoslavia, the National Day, and the Marshall Tea Day, celebrate it tomorrow, 29th of November.
We've got to stand by each other. There you go. Come sing a song with me. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Oh yeah, stand by me. Come on in, stand by me. Yeah, you stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should crumble and fall, all the mountains should tumble to the sea. Now listen here. Oh, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Can you hear me now? Stand, yes, stand by me. And the moon is the only light that we see. Oh, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand